lady is very dedicated. She's been a member of our community for a while, but she's not just any old member. She travels every month from Portugal to be with this amazing tribe. So please, can everyone stand up and give a huge round of applause for Diana Metello. Diana.
As Sonia told you, this is home. And so I know a lot of people here, and I think a lot of people know me for a while, some better than others. So please sit down. I'm sorry, I was just like... So I would ask first, who here in the audience know me? Okay. And what was the first impression, or what is the idea you have of me? Shout it out. So I hear... I like that one. And yeah, that is the idea most people that have known me in my recent years have of me. That I'm an extrovert, that I'm fun, kind of crazy sometimes, maybe a few times. But I'm energetic, that I'm sociable, that I'm outspoken, right? So I think you all agree. What if I tell you that I'm shy and an introvert? And I see people, it's funny because you were all smiling, and people that know me goes, Because when I say this to people, people go, no way. And I say, yeah way, it is true. I'm so shy and introvert that growing up, I went thirsty. And why did I went thirsty? Because as a little kid, I couldn't get into a coffee shop to ask for a glass of water. I'd rather be thirsty. And even if my mom would push me, because I would go, Mom, please, would you ask a glass of water? And my mom would push me and say, no, you go. Oh, please, Mommy, would you go? I said, no, you go, you get your whatever. Well, many times I chose to go thirsty. But then I started thinking, if this is now a glass of water, what if in life, and I'm going to need more than a glass of water, and if I can ask a glass of water now when I'm thirsty, how will I be able to go after and ask for the things I'm going to need in my life? So from very young age, my mind was working and, okay, I have to develop some skills. I have to learn to get what I want. So what you're seeing here and what people see when they see me on stage, when they see me off stage, even though I believe we're always on stage, we can be on a higher platform, a lower platform, but every time we're relating with people, we're communicating, it's a sort of a stage. So I said, well, I really have, if I want to do what I want to do, I have to develop skills. So this is why when shy, introvert people that lack confidence somehow, for instance, one of the things is most people are afraid of public speaking. Who here is a little bit uncomfortable with public speaking? Okay. And when I'm teaching people about public speaking, people go, oh, that's easy for you. And I said, you know nothing. And why can I teach you that? Because I know exactly what you feel. I know exactly what goes on inside your head. And for me, what I believe is if I can do it, anyone can do it. And the proof is, imagine me being a public speaker and a trainer of public speaking. Who would have said that, right? But it's true. And this is just a metaphor for life. But going on a deeper level, what if I told you that throughout my life, I had several clinical depressions? And I don't mean feeling depressed. I mean being clinically depressed. The first time I was 16, and the way it was diagnosed was because I had a problem I couldn't see. It was like I had a screen, and so everything was a blur. And when my mom took me to the doctor to understand what was wrong with my eyes, it was not what was wrong with my eyes. That was just a way of my body to cope with what was going on inside me. What if I tell you that I've been through abuse, all sorts, and actually going back when I was 4 years old, I didn't even understand what was happening to me then. But that leaves a mark. I went through all sorts of abusive relationships. And all I wanted was to be loved, to be accepted. But my family, I come from a family where the standards are so high, a society that standards are so high. I had to be perfect. I had to be the perfect daughter, the perfect friend, the perfect woman, the perfect lady, whatever. And I was trying to manage. So I was suffering inside. I was miserable. And nobody knew. So the first 30 years of my life, I was just trying to be normal, or at least look normal, because inside of my head, many times I thought I was losing it, but all my concern was like, act normal, look normal. And actually, that developed some muscle in us, and I became a chameleon in reading people's wantings and becoming whatever the person in front of me wanted me to become. I was a giver. But I was miserable. Until one day, anyway, I can even go deeper. What if I tell you that I grew up with a death wish? I didn't want to live. It was too painful. I remember so little, 5, 6 years old, crying myself to sleep at night, praying for God to take me, because I didn't want to live. And I'm Catholic, and in my religion, you're not allowed to kill yourself. So I had a dilemma here. I had to go on living the best as I could, but not wanting to be here. Until one day, 16 years ago, my boyfriend killed himself. And that, I cannot still today describe the atomic bomb that is, what that does to you. On that day, everything I believed in was shattered. Because this extraordinary, amazing, so kind human being had decided to take on his life. And why? Because he couldn't see that he had a future, a fantastic future ahead of him. So that day for me was the worst day of my life. But at the same time, it was the best day of my life. Because I could see that sooner or later was going to be my destiny. So on that day, I just made a different choice. On that day, I chose to live. And that moment, I realized that I had a purpose, that I was meant to be here for some reason. So, thinking of all the shit I've been through in my life, I didn't know Tony Robbins back then, but I was already in the results and options mindset. And I said, okay, so what can I do with this? And on that day, I realized, I said, I'm going to take everything that I've been through. I'm going to heal, I'm going to survive, I'm going to thrive. Why? Because I know that people are going to cross my path. And my mission is to help them go through it. So even today, every night when I go to sleep, I do my checklist of gratitude. And if on that day there was at least one person that is happier or something is better because of something I could do, I just think that I made the right decision when I chose to live. And I'm grateful that I'm here. And I feel that I have a purpose. So this is why I go for 30 years now. I don't make the math of how old I am. I go into learning more, getting more tools, more powerful tools, walking the talk, because this is what reinforces my mission. So I can help more people. And why am I here? Because why am I here telling all this to you? This is not the first time, it's the second time. First time was at YESx. I got this opportunity and I said, okay, this was something that nobody knew. And YESx came on and I said, what I'm going to talk. And for the first time I said, okay, I'm going to embrace my truth. But this started in 2014, Date with Destiny. Have you seen I'm Not Your Guru? That was my date with destiny. And on suicidal day, there is one day that people that are suicidal get up and get intervened by Tony Robbins. And on that day, 8 people were standing up with different issues, each one with one issue, and they were suicidal. And I was crying like crazy. I wouldn't speak up, but I had been through everything that those 8 people were standing. But I couldn't speak, and the pain was so hard that I came back from that event coughing blood. And that was a red alert. And I decided to share my story. And hopefully, I will inspire people with one message that I want to leave you guys. At any time that you feel that you're in a bad place, that there is no future, that you run out of options, you haven't. My boyfriend thought he had no option. I could see it, he couldn't. And that has been my anchor. Every time I'm in a dark hole, I think I might not see my future now, but that doesn't mean there isn't one. And a bright one. And an amazing one. And that goes to every one of us here. And sometimes in the darkest moments is where we find our true purpose in life, our true reason to live and make a difference. So I chose to tell you my story, something that you know more about my life than my friends, than my mom. Because this is home. And here on this stage, I feel naked right now, but I feel safe. So make sure you find your purpose sometimes in your darkest moments, because you have a beautiful purpose. And that is one thing I know for sure. God bless and thank you.